Good morning. It is Friday, April 2nd. I'm Jason Stanton. This is my morning musing this morning. It's Good Friday, and so it's a day when we choose to remember death. Jesus' death in particular, but death in general. Wondering why Jesus dies, remembering what Jesus dies for, or maybe I should say who, or maybe both, who and what. But it's a day to consider death in general, and obviously all of us are touched by death, whether we choose to consider that often or not. And Good Friday is a gift meant to help us make sense of what death means to us now, our own and the death of those we love, but also to consider how God enters into death and what to make of that. So I'm reading from one of the last times, our Lenten devotional, again and again. This time it's again and again we are held together. That's been the theme of this week's devotions. And I'm reading from Reverend Lyle Gwynn Garrity's devotion that's rooted in Peter saying, "You'll never wash my feet, Jesus." Jesus is trying to convey the intimacy of relationship that God is offering through Jesus. An intimacy that is offered to one even whom Jesus knows will betray him, an intimacy offered to one whom Jesus knows will deny him. Judas and Peter are both there when Jesus says, I want to wash your feet. And Jesus knows the depths of their sin and the choices they'll make to betray community and relationship. And yet that intimacy that Jesus offers, he makes anyway. It's a pretty incredible offer. And it's an offer that many times we push away, we choose not to receive. And yet Jesus offers it again and again and again and again. As we consider death then today on this Good Friday, the devotion recounts the author's experience of her mother's death and her mother dying of cancer, saying, "Let me rub your feet, let me rub your feet." And she says, reluctantly, I did climb up onto the hospital bed. Reaching through the blanketed layers, my mom removed my shoes, the sweat from my middle school basketball practice still lingering on my skin. Without hesitation, she peeled off my socks and gently massaged away the anxieties building within the room. In the face of the cancer that would soon take her, my mother was determined to hold us close. In the fading and fullness of life, she savored moments of service to others. Her gentleness continues to startle and soothe me, which made me wonder, what do I savor like that? What do you savor like that? Knowing death will come for others in your life whom you love, for yourself. What do you savor? I gotta say, I'm getting better at this. This is something I'm trying to practice. This past Wednesday, my third of 3 children, and I'm finding that with the third of 3, I'm getting better at savoring because I know when something is the last time. This past Wednesday, we had our faith building block for 5th graders, and that is we make the bread for Maundy Thursday's Holy Communion service. And we do this every year. It's one of my favorite traditions that I get to lead with our 5th graders at First Lutheran. And my youngest, Caroline, participated this year. And as they were cleaning up and, giggling behind masks and washing their hands, and as I had to stay on top of a couple people that were getting out of control now and then, I just found myself savoring that a bit more than I had with my first or second child. But I'm learning that it all only happens once. And to savor each opportunity we have to peel the middle school socks off of our child's foot that we might rub them, whether we have cancer or not, whether we're dying actively or not. We're all making our way toward that same time and place, knowing death will come. What do you savor? God savors you. And more than you, God savors us. The community and relationships that you are a part of. God savors the earth. If you haven't had an opportunity to hear Pastor Ben Morris's sermon from Wednesday night at First Lutheran, do yourself a favor and listen to that message about how much God, the gardener, loves God's garden. And God savors all creation. All of it. That's what this week is about. That's what this religion is about, is how much God savors. And so it moves me on this Good Friday to savor life, each and every moment of it. May we all keep faith alive.